everyone, my name is Noah Meehan of the Arc of Truth, and today we're going to be looking at the classified documents of Joe Biden. Now, I want to make some clarification. These classified documents are not necessarily from Joe Biden's time as president. Rather, they come from from Barack Obama's time as president, which, to remind everyone, Joe Biden was his vice president. Now, I want you guys to keep remembering that specifically because it has a lot to do with what's been going on as of late. Because over the past few days, we have seen not one, not two, but three locations, one of them actually being in Joe Biden's own garage, where a lot of these classified documents were. Now, I want you guys to keep it in mind with this, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know because a lot of other YouTubers have actually mentioned this, but nonetheless, here's the problem with this. Under federal law, specifically the Espionage Act of 1917, only the president, and this was actually upheld by the Supreme Court. I can't recall which court it was. If I can, I will post it in the link down below for you guys to check it out. But it was upheld by the Supreme Court that the president has the sole authority as the commander-in-chief to declassify documents. The vice president, the attorney general, any other official below president does not have that power whatsoever. And yet, for some reason, classified documents from the time of Barack Obama are in the garage of Joe Biden, literally right next to his own Corvette that he tends to drive. It's kind of honestly, this is maddening due to the incompetence as well as funny because of the whole protection gaslighting narrative that's been going around for the last few years. This is coming from, especially considering the fact that Joe Biden actually called Donald Trump irresponsible for supposedly laying out declassified documents on the floor, when in reality that was the FBI. He actually kept them in the safe, which, by the way, makes Donald Trump more responsible than Joe Biden. At least he tried to keep them in the secure location, and last time I checked, he actually talked with the DOJ, the FBI, as well as the National Archives in order to coordinate them on declassifying these documents and making sure that everything was secured. And this was all before the FBI raid, which, by the way, has not happened against Joe Biden as of late. And that's kind of telling, don't you think? All there is going to be this special counselor appointed by Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the Department of Justice, to investigate this situation. Which, by the way, where was all of this? Where was all of this for Donald Trump? Last time I checked, the DOJ and the FBI were all gung-ho against him, going again so far as to raid his own home in Mar-a-Lago. But again, we don't see that standard with Joe Biden. Then again, you shouldn't be surprised about both the incompetence as well as the corruption going on within the U.S. government, especially considering that the gaslighting involved, where people are trying to make it look like it's somehow Republicans' fault as well as Donald Trump's, which I cannot believe how delusional these people are with them saying that somehow the Republicans planted classified documents in Joe Biden. I really do not suspect that to be the case. In fact, I would say it's more likely from someone within Joe Biden's presidency or the establishment to actually do something like this, based upon what 6X and Hammer said last night. Because if it turns out that they go through with this to actually put some kind of impeachment against Joe Biden, and it actually somehow manages to turn out, they can remove Joe Biden, who's been actually a pretty bad thorn into the side of the establishment as of late due to his incompetence. Although I kind of think that's still a weird assessment, considering that they're willing to trade Joe Biden for Kamala Harris, who will then become the president as a result of Joe Biden having to step down, either resigning or being convicted. And then there's the other way in which the special counsel says we have investigated, we have found no wrongdoing, or at the very minimum, using the Hillary Clinton defense, which was basically, yes, she did commit it, but there was no intention to commit harm, which, as anyone actually knows, in regards to actual law, is complete another horseshit. But nonetheless, they may potentially use that either way. Now, what Stick, Stick, and Hammer actually does mention that this is a win-win for the establishment when he puts those two in perspective. But I would say that while he does make some good points, and there are some cases where I do agree with him, I would say the latter, in which the special counsel actually says we have found nothing of harm, or using again the Hillary Clinton defense, this could actually be more ammunition for Donald Trump. After all, he is the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party in 2024. And while true that the Republican Party is, well, it's not as united as it was before, thanks to the fact that the establishment within the Republican Party just hindering their own voters and trying to get MAGA Republicans into office. Just by this very fact alone, this situation would give Donald Trump a lot of ammo. Because after all, bringing this story up means they have to bring up Donald Trump's story as well. Which, last time I checked, a lot of people, and you don't have to be a partisan in order to see this, but a lot of people, especially independents, saw the entire FBI raid against Donald Trump to be completely insane, and it was just nothing more than a political attack used against the former president. Just keeping the story up for a long while, even with the potential being that, well, they find no wrongdoing whatsoever, it still is going to be something that Donald Trump will use in the future. I would not be surprised if he actually uses it in his future rallies. Hell, I would not be surprised if he actually uses it in his debates, saying that, oh, Joe Biden got off easy, yet it was clear that he had broken the law, while I, who was very committed to talking to the DOJ, the National Archives, and the FBI about these documents, and even though I had the sole right and privilege in order to declassify them, I was the one who was raided. I would not be surprised whatsoever that this topic is going to be used in the future by Donald Trump to attack Joe Biden. In all honesty, though, I honestly think that despite what's been going on, I think that there's not going to be any true repercussions against Joe Biden. I mean, after all, Merrick Garland is the one who appointed the special counsel. I would not be surprised if the special counsel has some, I don't know, ties to Merrick Garland and the Democrats in general, or even the establishment, to be specific. I would not be surprised whatsoever. And of course, they will find Joe Biden not guilty, or guilty but not meaning to be intentional about it. Nonetheless, it's definitely going to be. I wouldn't say necessarily setting precedents for anything, at least political, in terms of, say, governmental, in terms of government procedure or anything. But I will say that it will definitely be mentioned in the future along the way. I would not be surprised if this is going to go as a major talking point by 2024. Now, will it be as much of a talking point as, say, a potential possible recession that's going to happen either this year or maybe even next year? Definitely not. It's not going to be as big as that. But I do think that it will still be in the collective consciousness of at least some people. And they will definitely bring that up. And they will use it against Joe Biden. For right now, though, I don't think that Joe Biden is going to be taking a hard hit with this. I agree with Stick Six and Hammer on the assessment that this is not going to lead to any indictments. It's not going to lead to anything. Maybe possibly an impeachment by the House of Representatives, but not much else. But who knows? It could potentially spell more doom for the Democratic Party and even Joe Biden if he does run for a second term. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. My name is Toby here on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak or anything that I need to improve upon, please let me know in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.
Almost